guys, Zoe here, and welcome to the first in my brand new series called Throwback Thursday. If you're familiar with the hashtag Throwback Thursday on Instagram or whatever, you will know it's essentially revisiting an old photo. However, for me, I'm going to change it up and I'm going to revisit old collections. And I'm going to try to modernise them, or at least use them and make them look a bit newer. So for this one, I'm starting out today with Crepe Paper's Maggie Holmes collection. It was, I'm pretty sure, just called Maggie Holmes. I think it was maybe 2013, maybe. And for added funsies, I'm adding an old photo of me as well, just for the heck of it. I think that photo of me was taken in 2008, so a little while ago. So I'm just going through the 6x6 paper pad and picking out some of the photos, some of the papers that I think might work with my photograph. So yeah, whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you about my theory with this. So for Throwback Thursday, I'm going to revisit an old collection. And I'm going to have a starting point of just something that's in my stash that I have hoarded for a while or is from an older collection. It can be a sticker sheet, it can be a paper pad, it can be a 12x12 piece of paper. Anything goes. A thicker set, an alpha, a sticker, ephemera, whatever you have, anything goes as long as it's older. And the aim of the game is to use it in a way that makes it feel new and fresh again. So I plan to do this every Thursday. Hopefully that will work out. So anyway, back to the layout. I knew I wanted to do a sort of square. So I've chopped my 6x6 patterns into triangles right across the diagonal there. And I'm going to use them to make a square in the centre. So I'm just going to very loosely adhere them with some tape runner, and then I'm actually going to stitch them. And if you're a long-term subscriber, you will know my sewing machine and I have a hate relationship. It hates me, I hate it. And if you're a new subscriber, I always stitch off camera because my machine inevitably snaps a thread throughout any sort of stitching, and I swear at it quite a lot and I fight with it, and you know, I have to kick it into submission a little bit. So I stitch off camera because I'm cheap and I don't want to buy a new one and I can't work out how to fix it. So there you go, that's why I do that off camera. So I've stitched into the triangles and just followed the triangle shape onto each piece. I'm just backing my photo onto some white cardstock. Now this is a really old photo and I'm pretty sure it was printed on some really crappy printer paper, and not even like really good photo paper. So it's kind of rubbishy, but it's the only copy I have of this photo. It's something somebody else took at a tattoo convention a few years ago, so I'm gonna have to go with it anyway. But yeah, it's not the best quality. Now I know I want to use this beautiful yellow paper as an accent colour, so I'm just gonna go and back this onto the yellow paper, but only very thin. I just want a hint of it peeking through rather than being a very obvious layer. And I'm going to have 3 straight cut sides, and I'm going to use my ruler just to tear down the left side, just for a little bit of interest really. And I know that I definitely want it to sit across that navy, partially because I messed up the stitching there, but mostly because of the angle my eyes are, the angle of my sight in that photograph. I think it looks best to be looking down at that corner. So I'm going to use the Paige Evans Take Me Away Thickers for this one, and I'm not sure what I want to use. I want to use Wild Heart, sorry. But I cannot make it work for this layout. I faff with it and I fiddle and I mess around with it, and yeah, I could not make that work. So I actually don't use those in the end. This stamp set is an Ali Edwards set, and I'm just going to borrow the phrase embracing my story, and I'm going to stamp that using Hero Arts black ink all the way around the perimeter of my design, and I've done the corners first just so I can make sure I'm lining it up correctly. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around, being sure to turn my stamp so that it doesn't accidentally go the wrong way. Just all the way around. It gives it a really nice sort of graphic feel, especially because the papers I picked are quite old and vintagey, but I really didn't want a vintage feel to my layout at all. I wanted to make it much more modern than I necessarily could have gotten had I have stuck to the aesthetic of the paper pad, if that makes sense. So I'm just using a glassine bag behind my photo so that I can have some hidden journaling to explain the photo and my reasoning, which is just essentially to document the person I used to be, I guess. I used to go to a lot of tattoo conventions and get tattooed all the time and get a little bit drunk, and yeah, it was a fun time. All my friends were kind of doing the same thing, and it was a lot of fun, but I don't really have anything to document that time, so I've decided to go ahead and pop it on paper with this collection. So I'm just going through because my photo and the yellow layer aren't quite big enough to cover the glassine bag, so I'm going to go ahead and back them all onto this wood grain, which for some reason there's a square cut out of the centre of it, and I don't remember doing it, and I don't know why I would have cut from the centre rather than from the corner. Seems an odd thing for me to have done, but clearly I did it, and I have no idea why. What a strange thing to do. Anywho, it makes no odds really, because it works perfectly well as a layer, and it makes my photo just big enough to cover the glassine bag enough so that it acts as another layer. I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that down, and I'm quite happy with my placement now. I'm going to go ahead and commit to my I'm going to go ahead and commit to my photo being there, but apparently I'm going to faff with my title just a little bit more. I'm really trying to make Wild Heart work, but it just doesn't look right whatever way I try. It doesn't work, so I pop that back, and I think I try maybe the word lovely, but that looks quite cute actually. To be fair, it does look quite cute, but it wasn't working for me. So in the end, I pick me and I go and grab an alpha from my stash, which is a Felicity Jane chipboard alpha. Oh no, I don't. Apparently I'm out of order. I'm going to journal first. I think I'm going to skip through that. You can see I've just finished that off camera. Am I going to come back? Yay, there it is. See, I missed a step. How poor of me. As ever, I remove my alphas from the packet by slitting them up the side, because it makes them super easy to pop back into the packet, and then I don't have to have extra storage or the the thicker containers or thicker pockets or whatever. This just works perfectly well. It makes them work perfectly well in their own packaging, and who doesn't? want to just, you know, spend more money on more product rather than storage. So I'm pretty happy with my title there, so I'm going to go ahead and commit to my photo layer, and then I can glue the alpha down. Oh no, God, I'm rubbish today. I only did this a couple of hours ago. How am I forgetting the order I do things in? The ephemera I just showed, or the embellishments I just showed, are actually just stuff that I had in my stash that I thought potentially might work with the paper stash. When I sat down, I genuinely only had the paper stack and the Page Evans thickers. I really didn't have even the slightest clue of what I was going to do with it when I sat down, so I more or less just picked out a few embellishments that I thought worked with the colours. That was it. I really didn't have any sort of plan in mind when I started up with this. So I'm just using a few of the hearts from the same thicker sheet. I think I actually take one of them up. I've popped 3 down, but I do take one up. I have a, I think it's a crepe paper tassel, but I'm going to swap out that pink for a green one because it matches better with the green and the floral behind. That's going to be my pull for my journaling, and I'm going to add a little more yellow because of the accent colour of yellow that I added behind my photo. So I have a rubber charm, I think from, I want to say Studio Calico, I think so. I'm just going through my phrase stickers. Look how many packets of the confetti phrase stickers I have. That is ridiculous, isn't it? But to be fair, 3 of them are almost gone. And I have one hoarded, precious, unopened one, which I am going to open for this layout. You cannot get them anymore, so it's a sad day that I've opened that. The label sticker I've just popped into this upper right corner of my photo there is one from Ellie's Studio, and it just says "this moment," and the pink matches the floral, so I just wanted to bring the pink of the floral over to the other side as well. And just going through those confetti stickers, trying desperately to find the right phrase without having to resort to opening my other pack. But no, the right phrase is in that pack and I have to open it. Never again will I have a fresh pack of my favourite word stickers ever. Sad, sad day. Sad, sad day. So I'm using my tiny attacher to attach the rubber charms. I almost always use my tiny attacher for rubber charms because glue melts them. I found, I don't know why, I'm sure there's some sort of chemical reaction going on there. Because I have the yellow up top, I want to bring in some yellow embellishments. And at first I think I'm going to use this circular camera design from Me and My Big Ideas, is it? Mambi? Planner sticker, puffy sticker thing set. But in the end I opt for these lovely little yellow puffy hearts instead, just so I have the yellow appearing in a few little tiny spots, just to enhance the accent of it. And I'm just adding a few enamel dots. I've gotten out of the habit of adding enamel dots to things. I'm more of a puffy sticker girl these days. I don't know why I don't add them anymore. I should, because I have a million of them that need using up. But yeah, definitely out of the habit of those. So I'm just adding a doodly border around my whole paper design there, just to make it pop off the page and to add a little more of the black from the stitching, the stamping into the layout as well, and adding the same doodly border around my journaling tag, and adding some gold Heidi Swap colour shine just in a few little spots. And I think that's about it. And I really enjoyed making this one, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what else I can use from my stash that's old, that I've been looking at and not using. This is just to encourage me to use that stuff up, get it used, modernise it, make it work for you. I'm going to really endeavour to power through and use all my stuff this year. I think I need to. So, thank you so much for watching. Do leave me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!